All right, y'all. So this is going to be a rant about whatever comes to my mind. I'm feeling kind of, I don't know if I want to use the word lonely, or I just need to talk to get some stuff off my chest, because it's one of those days which usually every day is one of those days for me. I have to be doing something in order to cope in this life. But what I want to talk about here is when we're talking about things like vanity, futility, meaninglessness, things being pointless, or things having a purpose or a reason. Here's how I see this now at 37 years old and me living for 37 years. Woody Allen is someone that talks about this in a way where I could describe it for myself. He talks about futility and meaninglessness and, vanity and everything under the sun, and eventually things will be this and that. But then, you see, he uses the but there. He says, you can't live your life like that. You might know about those things. You see, I know about those things. I have looked into these things probably more than most of the world has. But I know for myself, meaning is what we make it in this life. Meaning is what we are making our lives. But then, you see, meaning for each person, there can be so many things. Someone can get involved with drugs. Someone could have been abused. A woman might have fallen into prostitution. Someone might have a health problem. Someone might struggle with mental disease, mental issues, family problems. Something didn't go right. I mean, there's so many things. There's so many things that can happen to a person that can do something to what they might have expected their lives to be. And I know for myself, I have to be very careful. I have to be very careful of expectations. I have a job interview on Monday the 17th, and yes, I am hoping that I get the job. But I have to show a resume of my past work, which the gaps are humongous because I haven't been working for a while. And when I was working, I would work for some time, and then either my drug addiction or my health or something in that nature, my mental stuff, would stop me from staying at a place that I was at. But really, those places were not for me. You see what I'm saying? Those jobs were not for me as a person. Now, the job that I'm applying for, I'm not saying that I'm going to love every day that I go into work and I'm going to enjoy it all the time. But I have to learn for myself so that I can actually do this myself. And what I have to do at first, I have to let my pride down. I have to do some things that I might not want to do. But I'm willing to learn at the same time. I'm willing to do it because I realize now there's nothing else that I want to do. Nothing. Now, don't get me wrong. There are other things that I would like to do. But overall, what I am going for is the only thing that I want to do. And what I'm thinking about, see, I'm not having a high expectation though. I'm not putting myself in a position where I'm saying, oh, it's definitely going to happen this way and it's going to happen that way and it's going to be like this. I have learned my lesson in life to not do that. It's never going to go the way that I expect it to go. And I have come to the ultimate knowledge of that. I have learned my lesson many times over. And right now, I'm not in my drug addiction. I'm not having the health problems I was having before. Do I still have some things? Yes, but I can deal with it, even though it might be a little tough, with my lower back and a couple other things. But that's something that if I start moving around more and I get in shape a little better and my muscles get better, that can help me with that. So, you see, what am I saying here? Why am I doing this video? Because I now know, even in all of these things, I have to make the meaning of my life while I am here living if I'm going to be living. I have to make the meaning with it. Nobody else is going to do it for me. Nobody is coming to do all of the things that I've been saying in my videos. It's me. It's me, myself, and I, but yet I need help from other people to do certain things so that I can do what I want to do and what I know I need to do for myself. And see, letting my pride down and having to get help and do some things that I maybe don't want to do. But see, I'm always willing to learn something. You see, if there is somebody that has skills and has knowledge and is very compassionate about what they do, I'm all in. If that person wants to teach me something, but yet it's almost like I still am kind of weary about associating myself with certain people. Because, see, there are very few people, I think, in this world that they want to help you in a way where they want to get you on your own way and they don't want anything in return. All that they might ask in return is that you're honest and that you tell the truth, and that if you're having a problem, say you're having a problem. If you can't make it in, then say you can't make it in. It's just be honest. Be true to yourself. And this is how I reflect on myself. This is how I got to see myself in order to live out the rest of this life, because I have come to this kind of this critical mass in my life where I only see one of a very few things that I even want to get into or be a part of or learn in my life. Very, very, very few things. It dwindles down to very few things because I realize for myself that a lot of these things that a lot of the rest of the world is chasing, yes, life is a chasing of the wind. We know this, and I already know this. But still, I can't live that way. I can't live just saying that everything is unfair, everything sucks, everything is gonna be bad, I'm gonna get old and I'm gonna get unhealthy and all this stuff. No, that's not true. That's not true. It just because we get old, that does not mean that we're gonna ultimately suffer very badly. There are a lot of older people that get older and they are healthy and they take care of themselves and they die in their sleep. You know, just because you get older, it doesn't mean that you're going to get cancer or you're going to have some really bad health problem. Yes, we're all going to get old. We're all going to get old here. We can't stop that. We don't have medicines and technology and other things to stop that from happening. And, you know, speaking for myself, I know if I have something to do that is something that I like or I look forward to, or it's something where I'm putting in the effort, I'm putting in the work and the time, and I have a few other people. That's what I'm hoping with this job. I'm hoping that I find a few other people that are very compassionate about what they do, and I can learn something from them maybe, or they know people that are into, uh, setting up little stands and selling organic food and, medicinal things and herbs and berries and just natural things like that. That's what I look forward to, is being as healthy as I can be, causing as less suffering for myself, and creating my own refuge and utopian. I'm the only one that can do this while I'm here. I now know this. I have finally got it through my thick, whatever words I would say, I finally got it through my thick skull that there is nobody coming to any kind of rescue. There is no one coming to say, hey, look, you got to do this and then do that. Oh, well, this didn't work. Okay, well, now this. Okay, well, that didn't go as planned. All right, now this. It's living for now and for future's sake, if that makes sense to everyone out there. It's preparing myself for future's sake, but yet I have to live in now. I got to be here now, and I have to think, what am I doing now to make the meaning of my life? You know, do I have all the things that I have? Do I get down and out sometimes? Yes. Are there rainy days? Yes. Do I get a little depressed sometimes? Yes. But why I get like that most of the time is because I don't have anything to do, or my mind is not occupied, or I'm not looking forward to anything, or there's nothing really going on in my life. And that's why I have to be the one to create it for myself. I have to be my own creator, even though I don't give myself praise and glory for doing what I do. You see, because I know better than to get cocky. I know better than to get prideful and boastful. I know better than that. Because I know when you put yourself on a pedestal and you think that everything's fine, there's gonna be a fall. There's gonna be a huge fall from that, and I understand that now. And I don't want to climb up the mountain. I don't want to have a mountaintop experience anymore. I want to stay at ground level. I want to stay grounded in myself. I want to not go into the deep waters of the ocean, and I don't want to go at the top of the mountain, because either one of them is not a good place to be for me. Because I know if I'm too high, I'm going to fall down the hill. And if I'm at the bottom of the ocean, then I'm going to get crushed by its pressure. So I'm very keen and aware of what it is that I am doing and the things I'm saying and the steps that I'm taking to get to that place in my mind. Now, I'm not going to sit here and explain everything. I'm not going to get into great detail. I just wanted to come out here to speak for a few minutes because I'm waiting on this job interview next Monday. I'm preparing my mind right now for my future sake, because I know that the way that I am living is not going to work for me. It just can't keep going the way that it's going for me. It just can't. And whatever I have to do for the next couple years to prepare myself, that's what I have to do. I understand that it's probably going to be rough. It's probably going to be a lot of learning. It's going to be doing some things that I might not want to do. See, it's very hard to describe this though. If I'm at a job that I do not like, that's miserable for me. But if I'm at a job where I'm learning something that I can apply to my own life and I can make a living off of that, and it's something I look forward to, this is why I keep talking about, or I talked about it in other videos too. I just didn't use the word harvest. This is why I look forward. This is one of the things that is something that I really do want to live for. I want to live for a harvest in my own life, because I now understand what I didn't understand before. This is the thing that has been missing for so long. I just didn't have it in my mind. I just didn't know what I know now. I didn't go through enough stuff, or leading up to this point in my life, to understand why I am after this in my life, you see. And I'm not saying that I'm not going to, like I said, it's not that it's this thing that every day it's something that is just absolutely amazing every day. It's not like that, but it's something to live for. It's something to look forward to. It's creating my own kingdom, my own place, my own resting spot, my own thing that I can do, because, I look at the world right now and I just look at so many things, and for myself, I can't judge anybody else. I can't talk for anybody else. I can't do that. I can only speak for me. But the way that I see things going, to me, is not good. We have become, I think we have lost, I'm going to say me, I have lost my way with how I want to live my life. See, I don't want to say we. I don't want to say them or we because I can't speak for other people. And that's the hard thing doing, is speaking for myself. And this is what I think a lot of the world is not doing. We're not taking accountability for our lives, ourselves. We're not really looking at, what do I have to do today? What is it that is keeping me in this spot that I'm in? Why do I feel how I feel every day? And I understand for myself, when I start talking about futile things and I start talking about nihilism and life is meaningless and everything's pointless and why do this? And I mean, it's, yes, I understand those things, because if you have ever read the book of Ecclesiastes, you already know this stuff. You know, I have read that book many times over, many times over. It ain't that I just read it one time and, oh, I read that. You know, I've read the book probably, I don't know, a lot of times. And, you know, I know for myself, I have just reached this critical mass in my life where there's really no other options for me. And other people might go, the world might say, well, have you looked into this? Have you sought this out? Maybe you didn't do this. No. See, this is not me being cocky or arrogant or bold or boastful or any of that. I just know that there is nobody going to tell me how I want to live my life. And this is why me as a person, I don't take advice from people, but I'm willing to receive the help that I need, and I'm willing to learn things for myself. You see what I'm saying? I don't want any advice on how people think I should be, or how the world thinks I should live, or how they think I should go about talking about things, or how they think that I should do this and then that. This is all just other people's opinions and views, and they want you to kind of live how they want you to live, and that is just ridiculous. That is a ridiculous way of looking at things, because all of us are in our own bodies. We're with us, and we can only make the decisions and the choices that we're going to make in our life. And it isn't that, there comes a time in your life where people will misunderstand why you would want to do some of the things you do and isolate and go off on your own and do some of the things you're doing. They might look and go, well, why is he doing that? What's he on? What is his motive or intentions for what he's doing? My motives and intentions are for health, survival, to cause as least suffering as possible. This is why I want to plant food. This is why I want to get into knowing about herbs and spices and berries and healthy things for myself. And this is what I wish the whole world would do. But I can't make the whole world do that. I can only plant the seed in myself. I can only plant the seed for myself. And how that seed's going to grow, How that seed's going to do whatever that seed does, I have absolutely no idea. I'm not sitting here expecting it to be a certain way. Do I think of how I want it for when it comes and I can do certain little things in the meantime? Yes. I have been preparing my mind for that. I go to prepare a place for myself. There's a scripture or a saying like that. I go to prepare a place for myself, and that's the only way I can see it. I can't see it any other way. I do not want to be for myself. I'm not speaking for anybody out there. I do not want to be a slave to some job that I hate and going to some workplace that I don't even believe in. And I'm very appreciative to people that go to jobs stocking shelves, dealing with food and things that we really need. The bare necessities of life. I'm very appreciative to those people. And whoever goes and does whatever they're doing, and that's what you have to do for yourself, I understand that's what everyone has to do for themselves. And that's their life, and I wish them the best. But I know for me, myself, I do not want to live that lifestyle. I don't want to live a lifestyle where I'm waking up every day miserable, hating people, blaming people for the way that I'm living or how I'm living or why I'm living how I'm living. And it's just something that I don't want to do. I do not want to live that way. That just makes no sense to me to live that way. That's like saying this doesn't hurt, but I got to do it, and hitting myself in the head with a hammer. And yet again, I'm speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for anybody else out there. I'm only speaking for me, how I see it for this vessel here, this person. And the reason that I am still talking about it and the reason that I'm bringing it up is because if I do not stay focused on that and I start thinking about other stupid things that ain't going to do me no good, watching, listening to, if I involve myself, if I keep involving myself with people, places, and things that are doing whatever they're doing and I don't stay focused on me, then I'm never going to make the meaning for my own life. I'm never going to do nothing for myself, you see. And that's why this whole life thing is an individual thing. It is something, yes, it's individual, but I think when we start creating a mind and a mentality like this for ourselves, we're preparing ourselves and others that are preparing things similar to this, then that is when that like-minded commune or community of folks, of people, will have something to live for amongst one another if that would happen for certain people. You see what I'm saying? But I know for me, I have to start this myself. I have to do it myself. And the thing is, it is not impossible. We are just trained and conditioned and programmed to think that it's impossible, to think we could never do that. I can't ever do that. I can't do what, I could never do what that farmer's doing. I could never plant my own crops and grow my own food and build my own home and all this stuff. I could never do that. And as long as we keep telling ourselves this, then that is what we're going to believe. I know for myself, if I keep telling myself, well, man, I'm scared to take a step. I'm in fear of what's going to happen. How's it going to go? If I keep living like that, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And then I'm going to keep living the way that I'm living. And I'm going to keep being miserable and falling back into these places that I don't want to fall back into. And I'm going to keep complaining about my situation. And I'm going to keep blaming something else for why I didn't do it. And going to some place that I hate. And that's what it would be for me. And I am not going to live that way. I can't live that way. There's no way. There's just no way. I know for myself that I literally cannot. Now I know that in the meantime, it's going to have to be a very slow thing. Like I said, it's going to have to be baby steps. It can't just all happen at one time. That's not how it happens. I just can't snap my finger and everything's there and I'm like, oh, here I am. And everything's here and I'm good to go. And now all I got to do is stick with it and do it and get it done and live this way, because what else is there to do for myself? I know that it's not going to happen like that. But I have got to do the first thing for myself. I've got to. I've got to. It's either do that or perish. It's either do this for myself or live in agony, in misery, in depression, in having nothing at all to look forward to in my own life, having no meaning at all to look forward to. That is a horrible, horrible thing for us as people, for me. See, I'm not even going to say, I take that back. I'm not even going to say us or anyone else, because I'm speaking about myself in this video. And as bad as I would like to see the world and other people do some of these things, nobody can force anybody to do anything. Nobody can make someone see something the way that another person sees stuff. And that in and of itself is a whole other topic, and I understand and I realize this, and I just see so many things going on in this world right now. I see the homeless situation all around the world, like in California. I know what can be done about that. I know what could be done, but yet I am not a person in a position, and I don't have the resources to do it, to put it into action. But these people, what they need, what I think that they need, and the only thing I can see is they need a piece of land for themselves to go to plant their own food, to make their own houses, to have their own supplies, and live amongst each other in a community with each other. And that it would give them something to live for. You see them in the streets in Los Angeles and wherever in California, and you see they got a little table set up. They got some macaroni and cheese with some coffee plates, and they're sitting there in tents with each other. And yeah, it's a little trashy, and they could clean up a little better, and it could be a better situation. But these people, they are desperately looking for refuge. That's what they're missing in their lives. They're missing that link of something, the abode. Every human should have their own kingdom to take care of and plant their own food and to have their own place. This is the problem that I see in America and all throughout the world. We are enabled to not do that in the name of much materialism. Now, I'm not saying that we need material things. You see, don't get me mistaken when I'm saying these things. It may seem hypocritical, but it's not when I'm really describing it how I'm describing it. Too much materialism is going to kill us. Too much things is not good. And this is what the culture and the TV and the mainstream is telling everybody. Get more money, get more things, get a better job to make more money off of selling more things. Don't we understand we cannot keep up with this? There is no way that this can keep going. It cannot keep going like this. We have got to wake up right now as a people. And I'm telling myself, I have got to wake up right now because this is not going to last if we keep going the way that we're going like this. There's just no way. It's impossible. Smart people know the end game. Smart people know futility and vanity. And smart people know that the only thing that we can possibly do is give the meaning to our own lives and to cope the way that we need to cope and to find refuge and to make that our number one thought. That's what we focus on. That's what we prepare for, is the harvest and doing what needs to be done. That's what keeps us busy. That's what the whole thing is about. This is where the commune comes from. This is where community comes from. This is what people did back in the day. And if you ask me, even though people back in the day did not have the medical supplies we have and did not have the technology that we have, and did not have a lot of things that we have today, I still think people back then, it was just different. I think that they took, when I say this kind of pride, I'm not talking about the worldly pride, the manly pride, the money, power, greed pride. I'm not talking about that kind of pride. I'm talking about a pride in their work, a pride in their work ethic, a pride in that they had to do it for themselves, that they had to build their own abodes, that they had to plant their own seeds, that they had to squeeze the cow udder, and they had to take care of the chickens to get the egg, and etc., etc., etc. They had to build their own wagons to get around. They had to take care of the horses. You see, this is something that I don't know why it took me so long, but this is the brilliance in a homestead and a farm and things like that, And I just don't think, I think we are very blind by the mainstream and the American way and how most people are living their lives right now, but that's not for me to speak on. That's not for me to judge. I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm not here to talk about anybody. I'm here to talk about myself. I'm here to talk about what I know and what I know that I'm going for and what I know is the only thing that I have left to live for. There is nothing else that I want to do. And if this job doesn't work out for me, then it's on to the next thing. I don't know what's going to happen until then. I know that I'm going to have to go through some things I don't want to go through. I know there's going to be some days that are rough and rugged and rainy, and I might get depressed. But I know, like I said, a bored mind is the devil's workshop. Now, whether you want to take that metaphorically or literally, that's not up to me either. I'm just saying, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. An idle mind is, I know for myself, that's when my own demons come, is when I'm too much in my thoughts and I'm sitting there not doing much of anything. And my own demons happen to come along the way for myself, because this is not a good neighborhood to get into all the time. Yes, it's an okay neighborhood when I'm staying busy and I have something going, something to look forward to. I have some kind of meaning in my life at that time. And I know that I have something that I got to get done. You see, that distracts me. And then when I have my quiet time and my solitude, that's fine. But when it's that every day, all the time, and I'm just sitting in my thoughts and I'm up in here and I'm thinking about how life is, so bad and there's nothing going for me and I have nothing to look forward to and all of those things, it gets very bad. I know this. And this is why I myself am so compassionate about something like this, because I have been there and I have done it. I have been there and done it so many times. I've been a drug addict. I've had health problems. I've had depression. I've had people die in my family from drug overdoses. I have seen people die from cancer that I knew. I mean, I have been there. I have seen it. I have felt it. I have lived through it. And I know for myself that it just comes to this implosion, kind of. It comes to this critical mass where you realize that if you do not de-detonate the implosion, then you know that it's going to implode on yourself. You know that you are going to blow like an atomic bomb, and you have to disarm that. I have to disarm my own implosion. I have to look at it myself and get honest, even if it's something I don't want to do, or I don't want to talk about, or I don't want to be let known. Why hide? Why hide, and why stay in the shadows, and why keep living in a way where all that I'm doing is I'm literally creating more suffering for myself. I'm literally making it worse for myself. I'm literally sitting around and being in my idle mind, and I'm letting these demons come to me, my own demons. I'm causing a lot of this myself, and I admit that. I'm causing a lot of these things. I know life causes what life causes, and I understand all of that. I'm already past that. I'm already beyond that stage. I've already went through that way too many times to not recognize it and understand it and know not to push things too far or not to do enough. I know my boundaries. I have learned my lesson. Like, when I say something like I learned my lesson, it's not that I'm just saying that this time. It's very hard to describe what I mean when I say I have learned my lesson, because I have been there and done it so many times. I have been in the mess. I have been in the shit. I have been in hell. I have experienced almost everything a human can experience. Now there's some really horrible things that I hope I never experience, that I haven't experienced, but I don't need to experience that to understand of what things can be or where things can go. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I always seem like this person that is kind of warning myself, or I seem like I'm the goody two shoes guy, like I'm the the preacher man, or, oh, you think you're right about everything. And that is not the kind of guy I am. I just know for myself. I know. I just know that I know that I know. It's a knowing. It's a discernment of knowing that you know and you understand things. And you realize, okay, yeah, like from the beginning of the video, Woody Allen, he talks about futility and vanity and, where's it all going? What are we doing? Where's it all going? It's, for 100 years, there's one group of people and then they're gone and the slate is wiped clean. And then there's another group of people for another 100 years. But then in the interview, this is the most important part. He goes, but, you can't live that way. Even though you know it and you can apply that to your art and your music and your whatever it is that you're doing. You can apply that to the way you live, your lifestyle, everything. But I cannot stay stuck in that place. If I stay stuck in that place, then the only thing that it's going to be for me is misery, suffering, anguish, more thinking, idle mind thinking about it, perishing, or death. That's all that's in it. Even though I know eventually down the road that's coming, that doesn't mean that it has to be so bad before that time comes. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that we have to, if we would eat healthy, we would be healthy, most people. I'm not saying that there aren't some unfortunate things that happen in this life. But what I mean is, if we eat healthy, more than likely we're going to be healthier. If we live a healthier lifestyle, then we will be healthier. If we look into things and we understand things and we discern things, then we can get along in life better. Isn't this whole thing about better? Isn't this whole thing about maintaining our ships and keeping them in a well-being state? If it's not about that, then that means it's either about this thing or this thing, like I talk about in so many of my other videos. And I think that neutralism and neutrality and understanding both sides to everything is very important too. You see? And that's why I refuse to take sides. I refuse to take any sides on any issue because I know sides are ideologies. Sides are people trying to say, well, this is better and this is worse. We are the chosen ones and they're not. We're the ones that are doing something for a better cause than you and these people ain't. My race is better than this race. And it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And we keep this comparing thing and all this going. And until I break away from that, which I have, and I understand both sides. But until I broke away from that, I couldn't understand how I was getting myself caught up in some of the things that I was getting myself caught up in. I don't want to compare myself anymore. I just want to be myself and live doing what I want to do. Live the best life I can. Be as healthy as I can be. Make my own meaning here. That's all that it comes down to once I reach the stage of logic and thinking and understanding and knowledge. And it's kind of like the end of philosophy. I know what philosophy is. Yeah, I can still philosophize on things and talk about things, but I ultimately understand that it's contradictions, it's hypocrisies, it's ironies, it's conundrums, it's left, right, up, down, day, night, sky, ground. every yin yang that you can think of, hot, cold, fire, water, earth, sky. You can't get away from the contradictions. And until we can understand neutralism and we can understand ourselves and look into things for ourselves, you see, this is what's going to help us along in this life. That's all that I can really say. I mean, that's kind of the whole thing all in one right there. You got bad and you got good. You got right and you got wrong. You got too much and you got too little. We're either overthinking or we're not thinking enough. I mean, how much of us can stay, like I said, stay here in this arena of life? That balance to ground ourselves as much as possible, to understand our own situation here. We need to stop looking towards other people to change us or to make the meaning in our own life. It's not going to happen. I know for me it's never going to happen. I'm not saying that something can't come along for someone and it can drastically change the direction of their life. Or something can come along to do the opposite. I mean, I don't know. That's why this is life. It's a bittersweet symphony. That's life, you know? So I wanted to do a video speaking. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And it's not even that I'm looking forward to the future. I simply want to live in this moment right now. That's it. And I want to make it the best I can right now in my life. That's all I'm focused on. I don't care about the past. The past is over. Yes, I remember things from the past. The past reminds me of some stuff, and I need to remember those things. But I'm not looking forward to how I think something should be or expecting something to go how I think it's going to go, because it's not going to happen like that. I know this. I understand this myself. But yet, I have to do it. I have to make the baby steps. I have to live out my own vision for my own life. That's the only way that this can go about. There is no other way. The only other way for me would be to just completely fall off the map and, like I said, be depressed, be in this thing way too much, be in an idle mind where I'm thinking about all these things that really don't mean anything, stupid things. It's just the whole 9 yards of it. I just know too well. And when I get in places where I might feel a certain way and I'm sitting there going, I don't want to do this. I feel this way. I know that I either have to move or I either have to have an outlet for myself to not get stuck in that again. And that is something that is hard to do when you're so used to doing some of the things that you've been doing for so long, like I have. It's very hard to break old habits. I know this. Like I know, the way that I set this up and do everything I do and how I eat. I know this more than that. It's in here. It's up here. It's a roadmap up here that I know better. I know better than what to do or not to do in the extremes of things or taking something too far. I understand I got to be careful, but at the same time, I can't be too paranoid, because if I'm like that, then I'm never going to act. I'm never going to just do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm never just going to say, okay, got to take a baby step. There might be 5, 6, 7 things that don't go my way, that the mind's thinking, okay, let that go. It didn't work. It didn't work for you, Nate. Now it's another baby step to get to where I'm envisioning my life to get right now, because it's the only thing that I can see. I am completely blind to anything else. It's literally the only thing I can see for myself. I swear on everything that I am. I swear this, even unto the blood flowing through my body and the person I am, whatever this is, this fleshly thing, this meat bag, this hair, this flesh, these eyes, the brain, everything. I swear on it, because I don't see anything else. I don't want to do anything else. I have no passion for anything else. I have no drive for anything else. Anything else is going to make me miserable. It's going to make me depressed. It's just going to build up anxiety and pressure. And it's just going to give me one big stinking headache. I'm not going to want to do it. I'm not even going to want to live like that. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now. I just wanted to do a video talking about where I'm at right this second. And like I said, this is something that I had to understand for myself. Things are not going to go the way I expect them or how I think they should go. So that's why I'm not expecting things and I'm not thinking they should go any kind of way. Even when I go to this interview, if they ask me, well, what do you want to get paid? You know what I'm going to say to them? Just be fair with me. What would you want to be paid? What would you pay yourself? Just be fair with me. Be honest with me. It's like whatever you want to give me, okay? I'm not calling the shots. I'm not saying, give me, $14 an hour. Hey, if they want to give me whatever they want to give me, it's whatever. I'm to the point where I don't want to call the shots. I want to let my pride down. I want to get the help that I need so that I can eventually do what I'm envisioning for myself. And leave it at that. Don't put any more to it. Don't add on or subtract anything. Just leave it like that and let it go. Thanks for watching. Take care. Any and all contributions to this channel are appreciated. I have everything in the description of my videos. If anyone would like to give back or to give to the channel or thumbs up the video, anything helps. Realize this channel is a need channel, is an awareness channel, is a cope channel, is a real life topic channel, is a channel to vent. That's all that it is. My channel is literally my life, my lifestyle in and of itself. I can't speak for anybody else but myself. In the end, I can only be accountable for my own life and what I'm doing with it. I'm the only one that can create or put forth the effort to making my own meaning while I'm still here. I am the only one that can do that. And I'm only asking for others' help. I'm not depending on them, but I'm willing to ask. I'm willing to let my pride down. I'm willing to say I'm a human being. I need help. Who didn't need help? Who doesn't need help? We all need help here. We all need help to live. Every single one of us, whether we want to admit that or not. And I think this is the problem with a lot of our world is we've lost our compassion. We've lost our ability to give and get back and to trust one another and to create community, create refuge, to create artistical things to deal with life like that instead of doing something we don't like or we hate doing or something that we're forcing ourselves to do. That is no way to live at all. That is just, it's just no way to live. And like I said before I end the video, anybody who goes to jobs providing a need, thank you. I appreciate you. I know that there might not be a lot of people that say that. I know there might be people that pass you in the store every day and they might look at you and not say anything and you might feel underappreciated. Listen, a lot of them people, they're appreciative too. They just don't say anything. They're just in fear of opening up to another person. And I'm here to say that I appreciate the workers. I appreciate people that go to work to stock shelves. I appreciate truck drivers that bring the food. I appreciate the people that plant the food. I appreciate the people that cultivate and run the machines and plan it and do everything that they do into doing that. The farmers, the giant food stores, the Walmarts. Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But me, like I said, I want to make that for myself. And it's not impossible. It's not impossible. It's like the song Imagine with John Lennon when he said, imagine there's no countries. Doo, 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 doo. It's not hard to do. Doo, 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 doo. Nothing to kill or die for. Doo, 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 doo. And no religion too. Imagine all the people. Now I can't hit that pitch, and my voice is not trained right now. So, but anyway, what I'm saying is, it's not. It might, yes, it might be hard. It might be hard. I think he used the wrong word there. I would have said it's not impossible to do. Yes, it might be hard at first for us to do things like this. And like I said, I'm just speaking for myself. I can't speak for anybody else. I'm just speaking for me. I'm just putting it out there. I'm resonating on it. I'm thinking of it because I first have to plant the seed up here. If I don't plant it up here, it's never going to happen. And this is a lot of the world. We don't plant something up here. And this is why things are not coming into fruition like we might need it or want it to be for ourselves. And this is why it's to each their own, to me my own. I can only make that happen in time for myself. And I know talking about it, talking about it and talking about it and talking about it, yes, it might get old. It might seem hypocritical. But hey, like I said, I got to do some things that I don't want to do beforehand. I have to talk about things and I gotta expose myself and make myself look hypocritical and kind of call it out and actually say it for what it really is, so that I'm not hiding it and I'm not being scared or fearful of it. And that's what I'm practicing right now as I speak. So that's all I can do. That's the best I can do for myself. It's the best I can do. So with that, take care of yourselves. Thank you. Tough love to everybody. Do what you got to do for you. Do it the best you can, because what else can you do here, y'all? What else can we do but cope, have knowledge, look into things, get real with ourselves? What else can we do here? We can't do anything else. It's not leading anywhere else. Anything else, I think I'm fooling myself if I go off into any other thing or any other direction for myself. I know this is something real, something true, something tried and true for myself. And it's the only thing I can see. Everything else is blind. I'm blinded. I have no vision for. I don't want to do. It's not for me. So with that, I'll let y'all go. Thanks. Later.